There's a bit of an element of a Greek tragedy to Alina Habba. I don't know how else to say it. She ended up really bungling a bunch of official legal representation.
You listen to some of the things Alina Habba says about how they restricted the defenses. I mean, that's right, because of the first trial. Yeah, had they had a different verdict in the first trial, they might have had a different set of circumstances for the second trial, but once you've tried a case, you're stuck with that.
In a dramatic turn of events, former President Donald Trump reportedly threw a tantrum following the unexpected leak of a video involving him and adult film star Stormy Daniels. The footage, allegedly released by Trump's attorney Alina Habba, has sent shockwaves through both political and media circles. The video, which has yet to be verified, threatens to reignite the controversy surrounding Trump's past alleged affairs and could have significant legal and reputational ramifications. This latest development adds another layer of complexity to Trump's already tumultuous post-presidential life.
It's the other way around, that he regrets having represented him in this?
I don't know. I mean, certainly, from my perspective, I would regret having her represent.
Former President Donald Trump has vowed to appeal his historic conviction, with a key focus on the salacious testimony of porn star Stormy Daniels regarding their alleged sexual encounter and the novel legal theory employed by prosecutors in the case. "We're going to be appealing this scam," said Trump, the 2024 Republican candidate for president. On Friday, he faces an uphill fight. Trump's defense lawyer, Todd Blanche, told CNN on Thursday that Trump would appeal after his July 11th sentencing date. This means the case is unlikely to be resolved before his November 5th election rematch with Democratic President Joe Biden. On Thursday, 12 jurors found the real estate mogul turned politician guilty of falsifying business records to cover up his former lawyer Michael Cohen's $130,000 hush money payment to Stormy Daniels, aimed at illegally influencing the 2016 election, which Trump won. Trump, who pleaded not guilty, denies having had sex with Daniels, whose given name is Stephanie Clifford. He contends that the charges were brought by the Manhattan District Attorney's Office, led by Democrat Alvin Bragg, in an effort to derail his presidential campaign. To succeed on appeal, Trump, 77, must demonstrate that Justice Juan Merchan made significant errors overseeing the trial. If Trump's appeal in New York state courts proves unsuccessful, the case will remain unresolved. He could take his case to the U.S. Supreme Court. To do so, his attorneys would need to persuade at least 4 of the court's 9 justices to hear the case. To prevail, Trump would then need to demonstrate that the state prosecution violated his federal constitutional rights and that his legal team adhered to proper procedures during earlier stages of the legal proceedings. Trump would not be able to bypass lower state courts to immediately appeal to the Supreme Court. However, he might seek relief if, for instance, he faces imprisonment during his election campaign. The court's 6-3 conservative majority, which includes 3 Trump appointees, has previously handled Trump-related cases in ways that have proven beneficial to his candidacy. For example, when the court agreed in late February to take up Trump's claim of absolute immunity from prosecution for actions taken as president, they postponed hearing the case until late April. This delay could prevent Trump's Washington trial on federal election subversion charges, to which he has pleaded not guilty, from occurring before the election. Recently, Donald Trump's defense attorney accused Stormy Daniels of gradually changing the details of an alleged 2006 sexual encounter with Trump. The defense aimed to convince jurors that Daniels, a key prosecution witness in the former president's hush money criminal trial, lacks credibility and cannot be trusted. "You have made all of this up, right?" Lawyer Susan Nishelli asked. "No?" Daniels shot back. As the jury looked on, the 2 women traded barbs over what Trump's defense attorney Nishelli claimed were inconsistencies in Daniels' description of the encounter with Trump in a Nevada hotel suite. Trump denies the entire story. Donald Trump's attorney Alina Habba caused a stir with a remark about credibility on Tuesday. "When you have inconsistencies with any witness, it speaks volumes," Habba told Fox News' Sean Hannity during a discussion on porn actor Stormy Daniels' testimony in the former president's hush money trial. "When you pick people who aren't credible, it speaks volumes," added Habba. In the courtroom, frustration is mounting over Alina Habba's efforts to defend former President Donald Trump in the lawsuit filed by E. Jean Carroll. Many attorneys are avoiding dealing with her, and some are even trying to undermine her career. Critics argue that Habba has done a good job of damaging her own professional reputation. In a CNN interview a few months ago, Tim Parlatore, a former attorney for Trump, did not hold back his criticism of Habba. Speaking with Caitlin Collins, Parlatore expressed regret over having her represent Trump, suggesting that in both trials, Trump essentially had no defense. He implied that the outcomes might have been different with more competent representation.
I do think that in both of these trials, he was essentially undefended. And I think that it could have turned out differently. I mean, in the second trial, unfortunately, because of the way the first trial went, I don't think anybody could have.
Following the jury's decision to order Trump to pay $83 million in damages to writer E. Jean Carroll, Trump vented his frustration on Truth Social. He called the decision absolutely ridiculous and vowed to appeal, describing it as part of a Biden-directed witch hunt against him and the Republican Party. Trump argued that the legal system was being weaponized for political purposes and claimed that his First Amendment rights were being trampled. According to him, this situation was a far cry from what America was supposed to represent.
She said that I did something to her that never took place. There was no anything. I know nothing about this nut job. She's accusing me of rape. A woman that I have no idea who she is. It came out of the blue. She's accusing me of rape, of raping her. The worst thing you can do, the worst charge. And you know it's not true too. You're a political operative also. You're a disgrace. But she's accusing me, and so are you, of rape, and it never took place. I made that statement and I said, well, it's politically incorrect. She's not my type, and that's 100% true.
Last year, a jury found that Trump had sexually abused E. Jean Carroll in the 1990s, and in September, U.S. District Judge Lewis Kaplan ruled that Trump had defamed Carroll. The recent trial focused on determining the amount Trump owed the writer. The case revolved around a written statement Trump gave to reporters and comments he made on the South Lawn in 2019 when Carroll publicly accused him of sexual abuse. When Caitlin Collins asked Tim Parlatore if Trump should reconsider his current legal team or have Alina Habba represent him in an appeal, Parlatore suggested that he should. Definitely you shouldn't stick with the same lawyer who handled the case for your appeal, he said. That's generally not a good idea because the attorney who tried the case might have personal biases affecting how they handled it. Furthermore, Habba was involved in the case concerning protesters who sued Trump after allegedly being attacked by his security team at New York's Trump Tower in 2015. This case reached a settlement in November 2022. In the aftermath of Judge Middlebrooks' sanction against Habba and Trump over the Clinton case, the duo voluntarily withdrew 2 lawsuits against James. These lawsuits were intended to halt her investigations into the former president and his businesses, which the judge had previously criticized as vexatious and frivolous.
Of it, he's like an advertisement for Hillary Clinton and the BS that they peddled and they got away with. And God knows if it was Trump, no chance. By the way, that's a perfect example, Sean, of an FEC investigation that actually resulted in a fine, unlike President Trump, unlike the hoax that we're dealing with right now in New York.
By the way, Alina, let me remind people.
That was just the most